Nice to see happy officials on the poolside there, but yes, those two 15s, I think, can resign themselves to a place in the B final now, because we had 5 swimmers in that last heat under 2:15, so we will get the summaries later on. Of course, there's always the possibility that people will go faster in the heats this afternoon, so you can't call it for definite until they've been swum. Women's 200 butterfly is up next. Again, we've got 4 heats.
So that's the first heat of the 200 fly in the water. We have 6 swimmers in this, an empty lane in 6 by the looks of things. So the running order is lane 1 for Dumfries is Ava Simpson, 2 for Heart of Midlothian is Alice Walker-Stewart, 3 for Perth is Emma McPartland, 4 for South Ayrshire swim team is Beth Gordon, 5 for Inverleith is Adele McDade, as I said, an empty lane in 6, and in 7 for East Kilbride, Lisa Miller. So up to the 50 mark, Beth Gordon from South Ayrshire swim team takes the touch in 34.22. She is pushing on nicely here, opened up a gap over that first 50. Going well in second at the moment is lane 2, that's Alice Walker-Stewart from Hearts. She's got quite a lot of company there though, Ava Simpson and Emma McPartland right up round about her as well, and over on the far side still going strongly Lisa Miller from East Kilbride over in 7, but it's going to be Beth Gordon from South Ayrshire takes the honours into the second half of the race, 1:14.26.
So around about a 3-second advantage for Beth. So she's going nicely, the South Ayrshire swimmer. Bronze medalist in West Districts. 3 in a line behind her. So down the bottom of your screen, that's Ava Simpson of Dumfries. So those tweets of support for Dumfries seem to be bearing fruit there, because Ava's going nicely from an outside lane. Emma McPartland of Perth in 3, and over on the other side of the pool you can there see Lisa Miller. In fact, rather, it's not Lisa. Yes, it is Lisa in lane 7, and in 8 is empty. So heading for home, and well, Beth is completely dominating this one. Entry time 2:40, half a length to go. We're around about 2:18 as she went through there, so looking good here. This should be a nice improvement on her entry time. Still sticking to the task very well in lane 1. Ava Simpson looks, well, does she have second? Let's have a look. I think she does. It's pretty close, but no doubt about the lead, although the board here at the pool has been cleared, so you can see the black mark where the time should have been up on the top of your screen. That suggests that maybe there's a disqualification report being submitted. We don't know which lane at this stage, but we'll need to wait and see that. Be a shame, because there were some good swims going on there. It'd be a shame if somebody goes, but let's wait and see. Beth Gordon certainly very strong all the way through that, David, and unfortunately though something happened and she's out in lane 4, so it's Ava Simpson who takes the victory. 2:45.46, pretty much bang on her entry time. That's a shame.
Yeah, that was a shame. That was a really strong swim from the South Ayrshire swimmer, and I don't know what happened. Didn't see anything myself, but one of the officials has obviously spotted something and called it. So moving on to the second heat. A couple of swimmers down in this one as well by the looks of things. The running order for heat 2 is lane 1 for Peebles is Jodie Pryman, 2 for Warrender is Libby Simpson, 3 for Duns is Amy Richardson, 4 for Heart of Midlothian is Kiana McInnes, 5 for Henry University's Gillian Clark, and 6 for First is Gemma Brown. No swimmers in 7 and 8. And it's Kiana McInnes from Hearts who's first to show, 31.04. Kiana, a very strong butterfly swimmer. This will be right up her street, I think. Edging herself into a lead of about a body length and a half, just ahead of Edinburgh University's Gillian Clark. And those pair have an advantage of maybe a body length and a half, 2 body lengths over Amy Richardson from Duns and Gemma Brown from first over lane 6. Halfway mark for Kiana, 107.66. Lead of just short of 2 seconds on Gillian Clark as she makes her way down the second half of this race.
Yes, we've seen Kiana on the podium picking up East District medals and junior medals already this weekend in both butterfly and individual medley, and so she'll be setting out her stall here as some tough 200 fly swimmers to come in the next 2 heats, so I want to put in a good performance here to make sure of her place in the A final. So pacing around 37 split there, so that will bring her in just in the low 220-ish mark, 2:15 her entry time, but I don't think she needs to worry too much about whether she'll be in the A final or not, because you can see the size of her lead over Gillian Clark and Amy Richardson. They're going to be second and third, but here we see Kiana really just upping her stroke rate as she comes in the last few meters, 2:20.66, so I think a good workmanlike performance. Jill Clark 2:28.27 and Amy Richardson 2:29.51. So as with the men in the backstroke, those 2:28s and 2:29s, we'll just keep an eye on that and see how that stacks up against the next 2 heats. There we are, we've got the screen up for you now. Kiana McInnes there, 2:20.66, winning heat 2. Two heats to come.
And the first of those now in the water. That's heat number 3. Again, we have an empty lane in 6 in this one. So the running order is in lane 1 for Warrender Hannah Ewing, in 2 for Swim Slow Lane Nicola Lees, 3 for Warrender's Megan Briggs, 4 for East Kilbride is Meg Finnan, and 5 for Dumfries Eve White. Say empty lane in 6. In 7 it's Bells Hill Sharks is Lauren Addyman, and in 8 East Kilbride's Nicole Montague. And Meg Finnan from East Kilbride 31.36 at the 50 mark. Just 3/10 behind Kiana's split from the previous heat, and she's got quite a lot of company around about her just now. Megan Briggs and Eve White, the East Kilbride and Warrender swimmer, is right up there with her, not letting her get away as you'd expect. So a bit of pressure here, and they'll be wanting to post some competitive times here, I think, just to secure a good spot in the finals. They're turning pretty much together, not much between them at all, just over a second between splitting first and third.
Yes, Eve White is very much the 200 fly specialist, and she's right there, in fact slightly ahead now of Meg Finnan, which is a little bit of a surprise. See whether she really drive on or whether Meg will pick her back in the last quarter of the race. Just behind them, Megan Briggs, mainly known as a backstroker, but putting in a good butterfly shift here. The Warrender swimmer was the East District age group champion in 200 fly, so knows what it's about. But Eve White has half a second advantage. This is faster than Kiana McInnes' splits. Meg Finnan looks to be driving on though, and is beginning to narrow the gap. 15 to go. And see how they go. It's going to be a good competitive race this. They're certainly not easing back because it's a heat. Driving hard into the final 5 meters. Who's going to get it? It's going to be on the touch, but Meg Finnan just coming through to take the touch, 2:18.64. So good swims there, particularly Eve White there within a second or so of her entry time. So she really pushed that quite hard there to give Meg Finnan a good challenge. Megan Briggs coming in 2:25.22. 2:29. Nicola Lees in fourth. So good competitive heat, that one, between Meg and Eve.
Yeah, I think it's clear that one of them didn't get the memo about the call room agreement, because that was really quite a competitive swim for this time on a Sunday morning. Good to see though, and it'll be interesting to see what that does to the running order in the A final later on this evening. That's confirmation of the times there, just 3/10 between the two at the top there, Meg and Eve, and Megan Briggs third in a 2:25 for Warrender. Final heat, just getting themselves set up now. So on to heat number 4. The running order for heat 4 is lane 1 for Swim West Lothian, Caitlin Smith. In 2 for Warrender is Hannah Durick. 3 for City Glasgow is Serena Egewigram. In 4 for Edinburgh University is Tane Bruce. 5 for East Kilbride is Nikki Miller. 6 for Warrender, Taylor Finlayson. 7 for Highland is Brooke Laurie, and in 8 for Swim West Lothian is Maya McFalds. And 30.44 the split time. That's the fastest split we've seen so far. Tane Bruce from Edinburgh University pulling away quite strongly. Going with her in 5 is Nikki Miller from East Kilbride. We've seen quite a lot of Nikki in the pool this weekend. She's been swimming well. Seemed to feature quite heavily yesterday, and she's chasing the Edinburgh University swimmer down the pool towards this halfway mark. Also going well in 3rd place at the moment is Serena Egewigram from City of Glasgow, and touches for Tane Bruce 1:04.94. That's significantly faster than the previous heat, so she's obviously staking a claim for the pole position in this one, I think, Duncan.
Yes, she certainly is, and Nikki Miller as well was faster at halfway than the previous 2 heats, so although she's now falling quite a long way behind Tane Bruce, we'll just keep an eye on her times as well. So through the 150, 140.69, that's now over 2 seconds faster than anybody else at the 150, and Nikki's pace though has dropped a bit, 143 for her with 50 to go, and that's just opening the door a little bit for Serena Egewigram in lane 3 to start to challenge. So a bit of a surprise maybe to see Nikki, having pushed it hard in the first 100, just maybe struggling a little in the second 100. No such issues for Tane though. She is now well clear, and surely this is going to be the fastest heat time posted. It certainly is, 2:16.49, 2 and a bit seconds inside the time from Meg Finnan. So she'll have lane 4 in the final. Tane Bruce, of course, already a winner in the 100 fly in that absolutely storming final. Absolutely just nailed it on the finish against Raquel Matos and Kirsty Simpson. A 3-weight battle was going on there. But Tane, good record in the 200 fly, including a 4th place in the Commonwealth Youth Games for Scotland over in Samoa last October. So the 200 fly is done and dusted. I was talking about swimmers doubling up the 200 IM and the 200 fly. That would be a tough thing to do. In fact, they all saw sense, because looking through the swims there, none of the swimmers that were in the 200 IM then were doubled up into the